Hello and welcome to Filmed in Utah. I'm your host, Warren Workman, and actually on this episode, I'm taking a break. I'm going to pass the reins over to Amy, Lia, and Skippy Jessop as they talk to Utah's best makeup artist.
Hi, my name's Skippy Jessop. I'm your host, and today I'm speaking with Richard Newman, who is a makeup artist. And first of all, hello, Newman. I'm assuming you get that a lot.
Yes.
The last name Newman, TV, Seinfeld.
Yeah, it was going on before that show.
Okay. So, Richard, tell me about what you do, because in the film industry, you provide a specific skill with makeup, and you do a lot of kinds, including body painting. Right.
Yeah, I basically, if you give me a job, I can do it. I mean, whether it's just basic cover-up beauty makeup to FX stuff. I mean, that's what a lot of people know me for, is FX, special effects makeup, and the body painting. And what it comes down to is, you know, I go in there and make someone look completely different and add that extra element to the studio itself, the people filming. I create the character for them, as well as helping the actor get into their role as well.
That's what I want to know, because if you tell an actor what they're going to look like, it's got to be a lot different than when they actually see themselves with your masterpiece on them, because that's essentially what they are, right? You're turning them from ordinary Jane into like a zombie.
Right. I mean, most actors want to step out of their own personality and jump into another role. And so doing what I do, as good as you should be doing, will pull them out of, hey, I don't look like myself, so it's a lot easier for them to start portraying that character.
Yeah, so what's the most difficult part of it in the filming process? Would it be when your makeup, when people are sweating, or what's...
The hardest part?
Yeah.
I think the most important is the communication between the crew, like the set designers and the lighting designers and the makeup. Because if you get a color wrong, you have to go in there and completely fix it and change the coloring completely. Or, you know, making, like if I put a mask on someone, like a foam latex mask, you know, making the seams blend so if they do close-ups, they don't see that line, that edge.
Well, because when I hear makeup artist, you would think one of a couple ways. You'd either think the person that goes in and touches up so that my lips are like full and my cheeks are rosy, or then there's the people that come in and do like the putting the mask on Freddy Krueger, and you do a little bit of all those kind of things, right?
Yeah. Basically, I mean, if someone were to call me up and say, we need someone to come in and do this specific thing, I'll be able to go in and do it at a certain level of I'm trying to think of the word. More, I've got to be good enough that I can go in and step in and do whatever.
Yeah.
And so I know that I'm good enough on some level to go in there, and I'm confident enough with myself that I can make it look satisfactory to the film that I'm working on, the people around me. You know, since there's a lot of independent films here in Utah, you know, there's a budget and there's a certain level of money going towards. That's the other hard thing, is a lot of times when someone wants to do an FX movie, that's the last thing that on their budget, and that should be one of the first things on their budget, because it's not cheap to go in and make a mask for someone, because you've got to try to make it conform to the person. So if you have a generic size mask and you put it on someone with a small head, you got to make it work, you know.
How do people get a hold of you? Like, what's do you have? What's your website and things like that?
I've got a number of things.
Are you on Twitter? You tweet?
I'm on Twitter. I don't go on there very often, but I'm on Twitter. Don't ask me, because I don't. I have all these links on my computer, so I don't have to remember all that stuff.
What is your website, though?
Most of the people go to Facebook.
Okay.
They just look up Richard Newman. I'm usually the first one on the search. because I got a lot of people coming and looking at my stuff.
Now,
constantly.
if you're going to look at your photos on Facebook, people have to be aware that some of the photos aren't exactly PG, because as you're doing things in the film industry, some of them are wanting body paints, and
Right.
there are people that don't wear clothes when their full body is
Right.
getting painted, right?
Well, yeah, and everything that I put, especially on the Facebook, but
Yeah.
but any website, most of the stuff that I put out there is going to be in good taste, and any age group can look at the pictures and see it as a piece of art. I don't put anything on there where it's going to focus on the nakedness. It's going to be focused on the actual ensemble, the piece of art that I've collaborated with other people. I mean, it comes down to collaboration, really. You know, I'm very much about collaboration. I'd rather get input from everybody and have the output satisfactory to the whole group of people instead of just focused on me, because it's not usually about me when I go into a situation, especially like this. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, even a photo shoot. I've actually had a crew of people that was working on some of the stuff, 15 people. So it's like I said, it comes down to collaboration and it's just dropping the ego, because I know that there's egos everywhere, and you've got to be able to set that aside and just, listen.
Well, this was a lot of fun, because I think that this is one of the really important parts of the film industry that doesn't get talked a lot about, because it's so important. So I
Right.
really appreciate you visiting with us today.
Hey, no problem. This was fun.
It was fun. It was way more fun than people know.
Edition Dedicaces and DMV Production present the French book, The Legend of Walla Paco. The Legend of Walla Paco is a wonderful Christmas story inspired by Indian legends. The illustrated book includes an audio version of the book in MP3 format. Your children will love to read and listen to this incredible story. Give your child the gift of The Legend of Walla Paco, available at abebooks.com.
Osmond Real Estate has been serving Utah County since 1979 with a high standard of quality and personalized client service. Call or visit us today at osmondrealestate.com.
Tired of all those books that are piling up? Then get rid of those stacks and pick up the Dedicaces ebook reader. With it, you'll get 300 classic books, 25 audiobooks, 10 pieces of music, and 2 audio conferences. The Dedicaces ebook reader allows you to download hundreds of books from the internet and read them wherever and whenever you want. View videos, photos, and listen to your favorite music. Get a bonus leather carrying case with purchase. The Dedicaces ebook reader for optimal reading comfort.
Hollywood loves to come to Utah to film all their movies here, but you know what? We also have great filmmakers in the state, and such is the case with Christmas Oranges.
Well, I play the kindly Mrs. Hartley, and I am running the orphanage of the children when the first orphanage, when the kids are very young, and the influenza epidemic comes along, and some of the children unfortunately pass away. And unfortunately, the kindly, loving Mrs. Hartley has a sad demise, and then they go over to the other orphanage that you met before. So
The less pleasant.
pleasant, but it's really been fun.
Make a wish, Rose. What did you wish for? I wish that I could live here at Greenwoods with all of you forever. Felicity, what's wrong? I want to go home. Mrs. Hartley! We don't feel well. Is Walter sick too?
I'm afraid so.
Try to sleep, Felicity. Don't leave me, Rose.
You're going to have to be very strong, Mrs. Hartley. Understand?
We have no choice but to close this orphanage.
What will happen to us?
Tomorrow you'll be taken to your new homes.
Homes? Don't forget me. Or me. Everyone, there's a new girl. Why, hello.
And you've been sent to Iron Gates because you have nowhere else to go. No one wants you.
Don't worry. If you keep the rules, he won't punish you. You're a mean, lonely old man. And I feel sorry for you.
If you keep up this defiance, you'll stay in the attic overnight.
Mr. Crampton hates Christmas and won't allow any fun until Christmas Day.
Christmas is a lot of nonsense that I can do without.
I expect Mr. Crampton will be in a bad mood for quite some time.
He's always in a bad mood.
It's not too late to make things right.
You think me hard and unfeeling. What is done cannot be undone.
Anything can be undone if you wish it to be so.
Tell me again about what happens in the morning. Joe comes at first light. He brings us into the front hall and passes out all the oranges. I can't wait.
You're watching Filmed in Utah. I'm Amy Lia, and I'm here with Lisa Nielson, who is a makeup artist. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So we were just talking about a bunch of work that you're doing. You seem to do tons and tons of stuff. So as far as filming goes, do you do a lot of work in the film industry here in Utah, or is it a lot in LA, or how does that look?
Most of my work is comprised here in Utah. I live here, so it's a natural fit for me to find the work here. And I love working with people that are local.
Why is that?
Just because there's like a really down-home feel. I don't know, when you grow up here and you get to know people, of course your contacts are going to be here. And I've just met so many amazing people out here. I'm open to working in other markets, but
yeah,
I just love it here. It's a good fit for me.
And you get enough work here, so you don't need to.
I do.
Yeah, cool.
I do. Yeah.
And you were talking about Brogan Kelby.
Yes.
Who is a huge artist here in Utah and seems to be expanding all across the nation.
He is.
And you are his go-to makeup artist.
I am. We have become amazing friends, but I started out as his artist. I did the makeup for his music video, Who Cares? Mm-hmm. And that was a blast. We were just running around. He was doing most of the running, but so if you've seen the video, it's really active. He's actually being chased by this. It's sort of like a horror. The video itself is sort of like a mini horror film in and of itself. And so he's in this, what's supposed to be like an asylum, and he's being chased by these scary people. So it's that whole feel to it. So I did his styling for that with his hair, and also did his makeup. And it was just a lot of fun. He's a total sweetheart. And he is as talented as he is sweet. Like, he is very, very artistically qualified, but he's just a really good person, too.
So on that shoot, did you have multiple, I'm assuming you had multiple makeup artists so that you could get all the background and then, so you were focusing on Brogan and...
Right, I was his key, and what I did with him is just kept it very simple. With men, you want to keep it very simple. So obviously we want to perfect the skin and make sure that he looks really amazing under the lighting and, you know, for whatever type of film they're using that they're shooting with. And we want to contour a bit because we don't want to lose the major lines in the face. Make sure that his eyebrows look good. A lot of men neglect their brows, and you can really tell.
I've noticed.
Yeah. Yeah, we notice. We wonder why they don't
I
notice.
actually tweeze all of my good male friends
Yeah?
and brothers' eyebrows. Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
You are a good friend. So yeah, just keeping the lips looking moist and kissable. And Brogan has an amazing mouth. And I'm really just...
I'm blushing, and he's not even here or anything.
He is a sweet, handsome one, and I'm old enough to be his mama, so I just sort of look out for him. But yeah, and just a lot of powder because he was running around sweating, so we just touch up and take good care of him. But he's very particular about his hair. He likes it a certain way and sticking up a certain amount, but he's a great person. I love working with him.
Yeah, and it seems like on sets, usually the talent and the makeup artists become the closest.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
I totally agree. And we kind of have a grounding, a calming effect on each other, which is really cool. And it was kind of there right from the start. So I'm hoping to work with him a lot in the future.
Cool. And then just barely right before we started filming, you were talking about a bullying campaign that you wanted to get some word out about.
Right.
So you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, I'm really super excited about it. This is actually my campaign that I started. I competed in the Mrs. Utah pageants this last year. I did not win. I did really well. I won the Mrs. Photogenic caption both times. I don't know if I'll ever do pageants again, but what I took from that experience is that I don't have to have a title to do these things that I'm passionate about. So with my contacts artistically as a makeup artist with other people in the film industry, other photographers and things like that, I just figured, why not start an artistic collaboration where we all sort of pool our artistic abilities and help kids out. So the thought with this, we've actually already started. The makeup work that I did, I partnered with an amazing photographer in Ogden. Her name's Lisa Tucker. We shot that just last week. And what I do is I sort of artistically let the photographer just take that. And they decide whatever that shoot needs to look like from their artistic viewpoint.
Kind of like you would with a director on
Sure.
set.
Yeah. I do want to keep it open to artistic directors, though, in the future, like art directors and set design. We just want to grow with this idea. Hairstylists, so the name of the campaign is Beauties Against Bullies. The concept is that so-called beautiful people, upon appearance, this is beautiful people that work in the industry, makeup artists, hair people, like I said, photographers, but in actuality, the true beauty is really about the kids because they're the survivors and they each have a story. So I do the hair and makeup, the photographer shoots that however they visualize it, makes the kids feel special because it's really a celebration about what they survived. And then we go ahead and do an interview process where I sit with them just like you and we talk about, because they each have a story. And that's where the personalization really comes home. And so we're hoping to make a documentary about this, and we're considering higher venues. We have some feedback, nothing serious yet. Right now we're just compiling, researching, getting this database together. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. And I want to do a shout out to photographers in the Utah area because we want to do a shoot in each major city in Utah.
Okay.
And
so where could people go to support this or become a part of it? Is there a website or Facebook? Or?
Yeah, actually, I started teen mentorship about a year and a half ago, and I actually have a website called Art and Soul Girls. And this is where I do some mentorship for teenage girls, and it's all about empowering girls through artistic expression. But there's a blog there, and that's where I've immediately started talking about the beauties against bullies.
So it's artandsoulgirls.com.
Artandsoulgirls.com.
Okay.
Yes, and I don't, because it's so fresh, this particular project is just in its ground stages. We don't have a website yet, but if they went to artandsoulgirls.com, that'd be a great starting point for them to then go to another one.
Well, perfect. Well, thanks so much for being on the show.
Oh, I loved it. I love being here.
Human Works speaks of a mother's love and heartache for her child. and for the children of Africa. With the sun and the moon as his witness, Jean-Pierre Makosso shines a light on the darkness of the African experience. At the same time, he speaks of faith so deep, it grabs the reader by the soul. Jean-Pierre's poetry is participatory. You will feel the despair of Black Africans. You will ache for justice. You will dream of peace for all people. Available at abebooks.com.
Walking by a squadron of teenagers, Levi's dully brushing the ground, paraphernalia sticking out from purple, green, and orange heads, I felt the grin spreading on my face. What fun it would be to arrange a meeting between young people and older people. It wouldn't have to be seriously real. So, you are invited to a whimsical experience between past and present. We'll see you there. Available at lulu.com.
Well, we've reached that part of the program where I get to give something away from Editions Dedicaces. Here it is, guys. It's Cuentos de Hadas. Now, this is completely in Spanish, so you need to speak Spanish to be able to read this book. We gave one away before, and it went really fast. What you have to do is send me an email. The first person to do that will get the book. In the subject line, put in Cuentos de Hadas, the name of the book, and the first person who does that, again, that becomes your property all of a sudden. Also, today is the last day of the contest to get not registered for your own e-reader. Here's mine. You open it up, and it looks familiar, doesn't it? Like a Nook or a Kindle or an iPad. Yes, it's an e-reader. And what you do on this is you can watch movies, you can read books, you can listen to music. It's a lot of fun. Me and my whole family use it all the time. And you can get your own. All you have to do is send an email to this information on the graphic. Make sure you put in your name and your address so they know on how they're going to get this e-reader to you. And next week, Guy, who is in charge of Editions Dedicaces, is going to draw a name at random and is going to have that live on next week's show. Well, guys, it's that easy. If you want to get an e-reader, send in your email right now.
You're watching Filmed in Utah. Hi, my name's Skippy Jessop, and I'm here with Darren Uram. How are you, Darren?
Great.
Darren, you do makeup for not just film, but like TV commercials, a little bit of everything, right?
I do. It's pretty much modeling, TVs, TV commercials, film, overall.
How long have you been doing that, and what's that like?
I've been doing makeup for about 23 years. Just pretty much started to get into the film industry and more modeling and stuff in the last year and a half. It's been a great experience, and just continuing to grow from here. So.
Okay, now you're, if I can point out the obvious, you're a guy, and but how does a guy become an expert on makeup and doing those things? Because maybe I'm stereotyping, but doesn't it seem like I wouldn't think that people would be like, oh, you would probably be perfect at telling a girl what makeup to put on her face.
Well, I think that men see things differently. I guess if a woman makeup artist is looking at a woman, they're going to see certain things, correct? I think men do, have a little bit more detail, and I look at myself as an artist. I don't look at myself as, just a makeup artist. I think we see things differently. The challenges are greater, I think, because of course I'm not a woman, so I don't put on makeup every day. So I think every application is incredible to itself,
So are women more critical than maybe men are because they have makeup on every day?
Probably so. I think in my situation is I'm a perfectionist, and so I detail something. If I look at a picture, that's the person I'm creating, of course, in front of me. To where women, they put it on every day, and so I think that their application is going to be the same in aspects, to where we can build that character on somebody. So you're almost looking at a canvas that we build on. So
Do you ever have times where you disagree with the director on what a look would be for a person? Because sometimes the director comes in and gives it to you, but you knowing colors on a person's face might know a better way. Is it sometimes tough to...
Well, I think with a director, we have, they're looking for a certain look, of course, and you always follow by what the director sees. And so I really haven't had too many problems in that aspect. Just because I just go with what the director,
Keeping
the
it
character.
professional. But offside, or when you're not on film, is it tough for you? Because I would assume that if you were a shoe salesman, you would look at people's shoes all the time. You are a makeup artist. You probably notice people's makeup a lot. Is it tough for you to not just like run up to people and be like, can I give you like a fashion makeover because your makeup is terrible?
It is. I mean, you start looking at things differently, and even when you're watching a film, right? I mean, being a makeup artist now, I pick up on a lot of things in the film industry. So I'm like, wow, I would have done that differently, or but yes, you do see a lot of stuff where you wish you could just go up there and scrub it all off.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Put it all back on for them and stuff like that. But
now, can I ask you to brag and tell us a couple of things that you've worked on, and maybe some things that you have coming up, if you can talk about them?
Sure. I do a lot of character, basically transformations, like Marilyn Monroe and all that stuff, and that's a lot of fun. A lot of films that I've been involved with here in Utah, of course, Zombo with Lucas Milhouse, Saint Street with Rob Diamond, and just tons of little short films, from zombies to vampires. I mean, and it's a lot of fun. So.
Is this what you see yourself doing the rest of your career, or do you want to manage people that do it for you and have a fleet of people like you, or?
Actually, I don't want a fleet. I would rather be in front of that person from here out, I think. I really enjoy it. Doors are opening more and more, and so I'm really getting involved, and I can't wait for the next thing to happen, So it's like I live and breathe it now. It's pretty cool.
If someone wants to get a hold of you, what is the easiest way for them to do that? Or are you just like, nope, leave me alone, I do what I do?
Usually on Facebook. I mean, Facebook seems to be the way to, reach everybody nowadays. So it's just Darren Uram on Facebook.
Spell Uram, because that's probably not the easiest name.
It's U-R-A-M.
Oh, I guess it is.
So.
Right on. Darren, any last things that you want to say? Or mention about your craft?
Like I said, I mean, I'm pretty excited about what I do. I hope more people, can open up those doors and get out there if they're interested in being makeup artists or whatever. I just love being in Utah right now because I think with Utah growing the way it is, it's just an amazing field to be in.
Absolutely. This has been a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of things about makeup that people don't know. So appreciate having you on the show today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Filmed in Utah. If you like these interviews and you want to comment on them, be sure to go to our website at filmedinutah.com. And keep a lookout, guys. We have some more cool information coming out about the Filmed in Utah Awards. We have locked in our venue, and I'm going to talk to you more about that next episode. So you can start getting your tickets now. Guys, that's going to do it for us. And until next week, keep filming, Utah.